I want to talk about what happens if AI takes over our thinking. What does that do for human consciousness? We were trained and educated for a certain kind of thinking that technology is now taking over and doing for us. And there's some underlying assumptions about that that concern the way that AI sees consciousness as some kind of product of complex matter, which is actually not true. That's not reality. And that way of thinking is embedded in less left hemisphere dominance, which is analytical and categorizes everything, and it isn't relational, it isn't contextual. That's what the right brain does. The right brain is the human domain, which is attuned to the living system's whole. And AI is much better at all the semi-automatic subroutines of daily existence, all the stuff that we're educated for and that is part of our analytical mind. But what happens if the reason that that assumption of matter being what comes first is wrong? What if that creates a backwards architecture? And what I want to talk about is the way that matter is something which arises from a field of consciousness. It's constructed according to the information that is held in the field that shapes energy when energy becomes matter. When we're in the flow, we're not observers in isolation looking at the world from the outside. We're embedded nodes. We're participants in it. We use our reasoning to, if anything, to justify our feelings and our intuition. But the creative insight that comes from the right brain, that arrives first, and it arrives in whole chunks. So if we allow AI to take over all the retrievable and procedural activity that the brain produces, that frees us from functioning as a sort of biological computer. But it becomes increasingly important then that our evolutionary leap is that we train ourselves to live from the higher and the relational cognitive processes, the ones that operate from the right brain. The design challenge for AI is that because it doesn't recognize the existence of the information field, it doesn't hold any space for the experiential reality of being human. What would it take to have AI systems that are capable of attending to the relational space between data points and that allow for something that comes from humans, which is not yet articulated? So for each new AI capability, we need to be asking the questions, what does this do to the humans who use it? What does it make it possible for us to become? And if it limits that, then that could be a problem in the way that we've designed AI and what it causes the future of human consciousness to be shaped into.